This video is all about Thorn-burn's Terra Cotta tomato. We will be hitting growing highlights, harvesting, reviewing within Baker Creek catalog, and last but definitely not least, the surprising taste test, or should I say taste testings, because this one, craveable and raveable. Like Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. Straight masterpiece. I bought 6 different kinds of tomatoes, and we just need to put that seed depth at 1/8 of an inch. They will sprout for us, all of them, in 7 to 14 days. I'm going to put them in my labeled toilet paper tubes. I'm going to put some dirt, water them, put them in the greenhouse. All right, it is May 15th. These are all the brand spanking new tomatoes that are new to me that we are going to grow this year. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. You can see that I started them in toilet paper tubes again. And you can see I put a lot of seeds in here. So I'm gonna have to do some thinning, but I don't really care, just as long as I'm gonna have 2 or 3 viable ones. Okay, so we pre-watered our hole, and you can see some of them kind of drain down at varying degrees. The end result is gonna be right here, all nice, firmly padded in. So I'm just gonna come down here and do the same thing to every single tomato that we're growing this year. June 21st fruit set right there. So I am gonna take my scissors and I am gonna carefully trim everything from that fruit set down. So that's probably gonna be more than 50% of those leaves there. Remember, I'm trying to grow tomatoes, not the leaves. I want the energy to go into the fruit, not into the leaves. I want the leaves off because I don't want to introduce any bacteria or disease. All right, all done with the first trimming. You absolutely want to use scissors. Do not try and pluck these off, or else these stems are so young and tender, you could take pieces of that stem with your leaf, and that is going to cause stress and trauma. It could also introduce disease to the plant. Don't do that. Don't be lazy. Go in the house and get your gardening scissors. So here I've got a fruit set right here and also right here. Guys, it is July 3rd and we're looking at Thorn-burn tomato. Look at all of these. And another fruit set. Looks like there's at least 5 here. Looks like I can see about 4 on this fruit set. Looks like we're gonna get some more developing fruit set here and here. Oh, so excited, you guys. Look at how huge these marigolds are next to it. It's absolutely the best thing that I started from seed in those egg cartons this year. They're doing phenomenal. Broke the lawnmower blade. Please pardon that. And look at how great, how many blooms. These hybrid summer squash, these Pat Patty Peter Pans have. Let's just have a quick little view down the line, so you can see what's going on with her brothers and sisters here. But she's doing fantastic and I'm very pleased. She looks shorter than most of the rest of them, except right here, but she by far has the most fruit set and the biggest fruit set. Look at that. Got our first little baby tomato. So excited. And look at how big those blooms are. Wonderful. July 10th, looking at Thorn-burn. We've got 1 there and 2 developing right here, and lots of other fruit sets coming. Excellent. Look at how well she is doing. And we have some more sets, but unfortunately some of these are browned out due to the heat, because that's what happens when it gets too hot with your little developing blooms. These are great for all zones. They are an annual. They do require 8 to 12 hours of full direct sunlight. If they get too hot, you will see that your blossoms will dry out, or sometimes you will just see the stem, no blossoms at all. You can see this one over here has survived, this one not. It was just too hot for it. It's July 27th, and this here is Miss Thorburn, and the marigolds are very much encroaching into the space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these ones right here around her because she needs airflow. The marigold also needs airflow as well, but I do not want to inhibit any of the growth in this tomato because I only have one of this variety in the yard, and I have oodles and oodles of marigolds in the yard. Got two right here flanking this, and I've also got one right here. They were the easiest, fastest, and best thing that I started in my greenhouse in cardboard egg cartons this year, I can tell you that. But I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna trim down some of these marigolds, because I mean, look at that compared to all the airflow that the other 5 are getting. Just needs to be done. So here is what I've trimmed up, and you can now see how much airflow I've got around Miss Thorburn. She's still going to have a little bit of the sun blocking this way in the late afternoon, but it starts here. She gets a lot of the morning sun. The concentration is really dead in front of most of these tomatoes here. Actually, most of the whole entire driveway line, until you start getting to where these marigolds are, a little bit more shadier there. But this is the primo sunspot here, and I feel a whole lot better now about this. I can actually see more of what's going on, obviously. She's looking pretty good though, really. It's supposed to be up to 96 degrees tomorrow, because it was already humid when I walked out at 6 a.m. and the door was already steamed up. So I definitely want to get more airflow. I want these leaves to dry off. I don't want to harbor any disease because of flowers that I have planted next to it. You can eat these flowers, sure, but I'm not going to make a marigold sandwich. But I will be making tomato sandwiches. Ugh, they are one of my favorite things. January 30th, and we are looking at Thorn-burn's Terra Cotta tomato. And she's looking pretty good. You can see here where we have a little burnout from those hot days. Nothing you can do about the weather, people. It is going to happen. No gardener can control the weather. You do want to make sure that you're keeping up on your pruning every 5 to 7 days. Only if you have to come out here, I should say even if you have to come out here and just prune 3 to 7 leaves, that's all it takes. It should take you maybe a minute, especially once you start understanding your fruit set pattern. Might want to hold back until you do. That's my advice. You look down here at the very last one, it's very bushy because I'm still understanding that one. Because it's a new variety to me. Spacing needs to be about 24 inches apart. You could probably go about 18 if you are pruning the way the majority of these out here are. It does not take long. If you stay with it, stay on top of it, come out here and do your 6 minutes for these 6 plants, every 5 to 10 days. You are going to be so thankful for that. I do have these flanked by marigolds, all 6 of these on each side, which were super easy, and I will have a separate video on growing these in my greenhouse in cardboard egg cartons in zone 5. But the point of me telling you all of that is marigolds are going to help with your tomato worms. So I flanked all 6 of these like that. I cannot tell you the last time I have seen a tomato worm here, because I prune extremely well. Tomatoes are self-pollinating, so both the male and the female sex are in here. If you shake it, they will come together and be able to pollinate. Both the female and male component are in there. You don't need anything fancy. Usually you weeding or just the wind will go ahead and get those blossoms pollinated. August 13th, and look who is starting to color up for me, Thorburn. Now you can see with this stalk here, I've got some fungus in this, all of the rain. So she is not going to be viable beyond these 2. The stem is not going to be viable beyond these 2 tomatoes here. But I am getting some new growth up here, a little bit up here. All right, it's the 16th of August, and we have a man down here. So, and they are cush, a lot of squeeze in here. So I am just gonna pull these. Oh, that came right off. Right off. All right, and I'm gonna go back in the house. I'm gonna get my scissors, and I'm gonna cut that, because this is not viable at all. It had so much black spot fungus in it. We're gonna cut it way down there at the root. Now let's look at Thorn-burn's Terra Cotta tomato with some scale. These 3 are Thorn-burns, next to the 4th of July, next to blue cream berries, also Baker Creek. Also full video on the channel. Let's pull back so you can have a better idea. And we've got the ruler right there. Okay, so I have sliced this. I have tasted it. It is sweet. If you've ever had a lot of sugar and that goes like to the back of your throat, almost like makes your teeth hurt, this did that to me. So I do have some cracking on this, and this is starting to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna slice these up, and I'm gonna give these a good taste test. These are so good salted. Also want to mention that they're thin-skinned. You cannot taste the walls in these. I do not like a thick-walled tomato. These are great. Can't stop eating them. They are so good. I'm gonna go ahead and save these seeds because they taste so good. There's no N in Thorburns, I guess. I've been saying it wrong the whole time. I sure do apologize to the family. And it took me actually writing it to realize there's no N in there. Okay, paper towel on a cookie sheet. These 2 have been drying for a couple of weeks. You can just flip them over too once they reach a certain dryness, and you want to make sure that the undercarriage is also dry. Guys, I'm going to do a separate seed saving video on just about everything that you see here, a few others, and some flowers and beans and herbs that haven't even gone to seed. I'm gonna put a good compilation together of everything that you see here and a few more that you don't. And go ahead and catch how to save whatever seed you may want to save now or in the future. All right, it is the 28th of August. We are going to harvest her, and you can see she's not a bright red, she's orange, she's Terra Cotta. And this one right here, we've got a fantastic little cush on her. That's it. Excellent. Also see that this one has got a little bit of a yellowish color, turning from that green. That one's gonna be next. So it's the 28th of August. I just harvested this one off of the Terra Cotta plant. Guys, it's September 1st, and let's go ahead and review Thor-burn's Terra Cotta tomato, which is right here. I did not get a lot of these tomatoes, but with my old standards like Giant Belgium, this is my first one I got this year. With my 4th of July, not as many this year. Black Creme, still on the vine. Those will be ripe in a couple of days. So basically what I'm saying, not the best tomato year for Zone 5 Northwest Ohio. I'm not gonna hold that against any of my new tomatoes that I tried this year, especially this one. All right, you guys, I'm looking at Baker Creek and 2023, this is 2022 catalog. Let's see, incredible flavor, color, and history. Introduced in 1893 by James Thor-burn of New York. This is one of the most sensual tomatoes we have ever grown. With honey brown skin, orange pink flesh, and green seed mass. This is an eye-catching slicer with an out-of-this-world flavor. The tomato produces heavily during mid-season and then drops off quickly once cool weather sets in. As a cooker, it will yield a pumpkin orange sauce with a floral aroma. I have not cooked any of this. Didn't get a lot. That's mainly why. We are excited to have this tomato that was painted in color in Thor-burn's 1893 catalog. At last, we can offer this rare treasure. That might mean it's an heirloom as well. From the collection of Dr. William Wose Weaver. $5 for this packet. Okay, so I didn't get a lot. I said it was a bad season. This is so fantastic tasting. I got 2 or 3 of them at once and gobbled them all down. They were so good. Oh my God, they were so good. They were sweet. They hurt the back of my teeth, which is unusual. I've never had that happen with a big tomato like this before. As far as size, so here we go. I usually like these big ones for my BLTs, which I'm gonna have today, and I cannot wait because I want the salty against this sweet tomato, particularly this tomato today. I can't wait to try that. So I'm gonna fish this Giant Belgium out, and now you can kind of see it side by side. So yeah, it's smaller. I'm gonna have to have 2 slices on there. It's gonna slide. I don't care because this is so fantastic tasting. I cannot wait. Also went ahead and I grabbed some seeds, and I'm gonna collect some more seeds again today. Oh, heirloom. So I've already looked this up. This is an heirloom. Excellent. See that the shoulders are a little, they got a hint of green, a little bit of yellow in there too. But this is gorgeous. This is absolutely a keeper. This is one also that I'm going to give away to other people. That's how much I liked this one. Totally and completely can recommend this to you wholeheartedly. It is sweet. It is delicious. Listen, I'm not finding it to be sensual, but you need to beware how some of these seed companies kind of like to word things. All right, you guys, we can see how much this gave us and our waste up here. I've got 1 slice over here on this BLT. All right, I have a couple more here with Thor-burn, Terra Cotta. Gorgeous. And this one here, I hate when things bubble like this. Let me get over here and get this one. Ooh, that came off real easy. Excellent. All right, I am gonna try Thor-burn's Terra Cotta tomato on just a tomato sandwich with Hellmann's mayonnaise, salted tomatoes, and I'm on some bean bread. Okay, here's my tomato sandwich. Very good. Also went for a caprese salad. Kind of stripped down, no balsamic vinegar, no basil. I wanted to see how it tastes all by itself. Fantastic tasting tomato. I cannot wait to grow these again. I will say that it seems like when you pair this with something, it doesn't taste quite as sweet when you have this all by itself. That's been my experience anyway. When you add a component, it kind of takes away from the sweetness of this one. Guys, we're gonna wrap up this video on Thorn-burn's terracotta tomato. And, you know, we've already read the review. There's a couple things that they do not tell us, and that is how many days. So 70 to 80 days to harvest. This is an indeterminate tomato. So we already know that it's going to take the 7 to 14 days. We know you have to have a seed depth of 1/8 inch. We covered that in the beginning. Not frost hardy, no tomatoes ever are. The minimum full sun requirements are 8 to 12 hours. This is all standard along the side here for any tomato. If you are looking for a tomato growing requirements and guideline video, that will be in the 6 new Baker Creek tomato variety video. I will attach that at the end for you, and hopefully you will see another variety you'd like to grow for yourself. All 6 varieties will have their own separate video and time in the spotlight, much like you are experiencing now with this specific tomato variety video. Thank you so much for watching, and I invite you again to subscribe, as I have been gardening for over 40 years and have a lot to teach, show, grow, review, experiment with, and my favorite, a specific variety everything deep dive. So let's try new things together, mix it up, and have a glorious day.